The Caucasus region is a land of dramatic mountains. It is also a place of immense geopolitical significance. It stands as a critical bridge. Europe and Asia meet in this complex territory. This unique geographical position has defined its history. It continues to shape its turbulent present and uncertain future. Understanding the Caucasus is crucial for understanding wider global dynamics. Its importance cannot be overstated in today's interconnected world. Many global powers recognize its strategic value. They watch developments here with keen interest. This region is more than just a land bridge. It is a vital energy corridor. Significant oil and gas pipelines cross its terrain. These pipelines transport Caspian Sea resources. They carry energy westward to European markets. This makes the Caucasus essential for European energy security. It also makes it an area of intense competition. Control over or influence through these energy routes is a major prize. The flow of energy resources links the Caucasus directly to global economic stability and the strategic calculations of many nations. The Caucasus is also a mosaic of diverse cultures and ethnicities. Dozens of distinct groups call this region home. Each has its own language, traditions, and history. This rich cultural tapestry adds to the region's unique character. However, this diversity has also been a source of tension. It has fueled numerous conflicts throughout history. Drawing borders here has always been a complex and often contested process. These internal ethnic dynamics interact with external pressures. This combination creates a persistently volatile environment. Furthermore, the Caucasus serves as a natural barrier and a meeting point. It separates Russia to the north from Turkey and Iran to the south. This proximity to major regional powers means it is constantly influenced by their interests. The region has often been a buffer zone. It has also been an arena for competition between larger empires. Its strategic location means that instability here can easily spill over. Such spillovers can affect neighboring regions significantly. Therefore, peace and stability in the Caucasus are of paramount concern for international security. The history of the Caucasus is long and complex. Ancient empires have left their mark here. Romans, Persians, and Byzantines once vied for control. Later, the Ottoman and Persian empires exerted strong influence. They fought many wars over these lands. These empires brought different cultures, religions, and systems of governance. Each layer of history added to the region's intricate social fabric. The legacy of these ancient and medieval struggles is still felt today. It is evident in cultural affinities and old grievances. These historical memories shape modern identities. The Russian Empire's expansion southward was a defining period. This occurred mainly in the 18th and 19th centuries. Russia fought prolonged wars to conquer the Caucasus. These campaigns were often brutal. They led to significant demographic changes. The resistance from local peoples, like the Circassians, was fierce. Russian control brought a new political and administrative order. However, it did not erase local identities or aspirations for autonomy. The methods of Russian imperial rule laid some of the groundwork for future conflicts by centralizing power and sometimes ignoring local complexities. The Soviet era brought another wave of transformation. After the Russian Revolution, the Caucasus briefly saw independence. Then, it was incorporated into the USSR. Soviet authorities drew internal borders between republics and autonomous regions. These borders did not always align with ethnic distributions. Sometimes they were drawn to deliberately divide groups, or they were made to ensure loyalty to the Central Soviet government. While Soviet rule imposed a kind of stability, it suppressed underlying tensions. These unresolved issues simmered beneath the surface for decades, waiting to erupt. With the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, these tensions exploded. New independent states emerged: Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. However, their newfound sovereignty was immediately challenged. Conflicts erupted over territories like Nagorno-Karabakh. This involved Armenia and Azerbaijan. Wars also broke out in Georgia over Abkhazia and South Ossetia. These conflicts caused immense suffering and displacement. They left a legacy of frozen conflicts and unresolved disputes. These past wars cast a long shadow over the region's current political landscape and its future prospects for lasting peace. Russia remains a dominant external player in the Caucasus. It views the region as part of its traditional sphere of influence. Moscow has significant security interests here. It seeks to prevent instability on its southern flank. Russia maintains military bases in Armenia and in the breakaway regions of Georgia. It uses its economic leverage, including energy supplies. It also employs diplomatic means to project power. Russia often acts as a mediator in conflicts. However, its role is sometimes seen as self-serving by the Caucasus states. Moscow aims to limit Western influence. Turkey has significantly increased its engagement in the Caucasus. It shares strong cultural, linguistic, and historical ties with Azerbaijan. Ankara provides substantial political, economic, and military support to Baku. This was evident in the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh War. Turkey also seeks to enhance its role as an energy transit hub. It promotes pipeline projects that bypass Russia. Turkey's growing assertiveness presents both opportunities and challenges. It offers an alternative to Russian dominance for some. For others, like Armenia, it revives historical anxieties and concerns about regional power balance. Iran, bordering the Caucasus to the south, also has vital interests. Tehran is concerned about security along its northern borders. It closely monitors developments in Azerbaijan, given its own large Azeri minority. Iran seeks regional stability. It wants to prevent the spread of external influences it deems hostile, particularly from the United States or Israel. Iran also has economic interests, including trade and transit routes. It sometimes finds itself in a complex position. It balances its relations with Armenia and Azerbaijan carefully. Its actions are often cautious and aimed at preserving its own security. The United States and the European Union also play a role. Their interests include promoting democracy and human rights. They support the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Caucasus states. Energy security is another major driver for Western engagement. The West supports pipelines that diversify Europe's energy supplies away from Russia. Western actors provide economic aid and support civil society. However, their influence can be limited. They face challenges from regional powers. The geographic distance also plays a role in their capacity to project sustained influence compared to immediate neighbors. The future of the Caucasus remains highly uncertain. Unresolved territorial disputes are a constant source of danger. The Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, despite recent Azerbaijani gains, still holds potential for future flare-ups. Tensions persist around Georgia's breakaway regions of Abkhazia and South Ossetia. These frozen conflicts are not truly frozen. They can thaw quickly and violently. The lack of lasting peace settlements means that new rounds of fighting are a persistent threat. This fragility undermines long-term development. It also creates opportunities for external powers to meddle. Shifts in the strategies of major external powers will profoundly impact the region. If Russia's focus is diverted elsewhere or its power wanes, a vacuum could emerge. This could lead to increased competition between other players like Turkey and Iran. Conversely, a more assertive Russia could seek to further consolidate its influence. Turkey's ambitions for greater regional leadership will continue to shape events. Iran's response to regional changes will also be crucial. The interplay between these external actors is a key variable. It will determine the future stability or instability of the Caucasus. Economic development offers a path towards greater stability. The region has significant potential. This includes energy resources, transit routes, and agriculture. Investment in infrastructure and regional cooperation could foster shared prosperity. Projects like the Middle Corridor, linking Asia to Europe through the Caucasus, are promising. However, ongoing conflicts and political instability deter investment. They also hinder the full realization of the region's economic potential. Overcoming these obstacles requires political will. It also needs a more secure and predictable environment for businesses and people. Ultimately, the fate of the Caucasus has global implications. Renewed conflict could disrupt energy supplies to Europe. It could also trigger wider regional instability. This could draw in major powers. The region is a test case for international norms. These include territorial integrity and the peaceful resolution of disputes. Continued instability could create humanitarian crises. It could also become a breeding ground for extremism. Therefore, the international community has a vested interest. It must support efforts towards lasting peace and sustainable development in this pivotal, yet fragile part of the world.